it's at anti-government, it's at anti-establishment. So and that is not, although they believe that it is because they're a louder segment of the party. They believe it's a larger constituency than it is, and it's not a large group of people. They're just a very vocal segment of the people, and they believe that message is resonating, but their constituency is not growing because, as I've said time and over, and it's been confirmed, that the moderates in the party are the largest number of people. So, I mean, no matter how much, and that does not mean that their message is not important and it should be listened to. I'm simply stating that they don't even remotely represent most Democrats in the party. As a matter of fact, I would even almost, at the risk of being hyperbolic, I would say that they're literally kind of a different party.
I get what you're saying, and I agree with that. I guess what I'm coming from is a different angle. What I'm saying is a lot of the mod Dems are swing voters and a part of the silent majority, and if they're not appealed to, you won't know it, but they'll fucking line up on the other side, and you'll be sitting there like, what the fuck happened? Because you don't know who voted for who. They're not going to tell you they did it. They just do it. That's why they're called the silent majority, and that's why they're considered a part of the silent majority. And I do believe they have to be appealed to, or you might fucking lose them.
Hey, Gemini, I have a question for you. So the Republicans morphed into the MAGA, right? What do you think the Democrats are going to morph into? Like, what can you give any insight on how you think it's going to transition into today's Democrat? Because the traditional Democrats obviously have fallen out of favor. Well, what are your thoughts on that, if you don't mind?
That's kind of curious. I mean, interesting. I'm curious as to what it could be. I'm not going to pretend to have insight on that because I don't see a clear-cut path right now for them to morph into an alternate form of the party or a subgroup in the party that's strong enough to represent a subculture, I should say, inside the party that could represent in a way that MAGA is
progressive. It's easy. Progressive.
Okay,
hey, y'all.
The working family.
Hey, y'all. I don't know if y'all gonna have the men's room later or y'all gonna have it soon. I don't know. So y'all just need to let us know.
Okay, thank you. And so as a follow-up, Gemini, I haven't figured it out.
I'm talking to wait, one quick. Just Gemini.
I'm down to do it, which is why I've been here, even though I haven't been talking. I've been here since like.
Yeah, so y'all need to let us know what's going on. So.
I'll join you guys in the grooming thing when you're ready. As soon as you're
something organized and structured to do today. But yeah, I'm definitely down to host a men's room and get it started.
Patient in here, yeah. So y'all go ahead and start setting up your room and then send me the back channel and then I'll push everybody over there. But y'all go ahead and continue the conversation until they get this shit together.
Haitian, check your back channel.
I think that the natural progression, what has been the natural progression from establishment Democrats, I think that I don't even think that we can even call it an evolution. I just think that there's a fringe, and I have to keep framing it that way. There's a segment of the party who are a little bit more to the left than they are moderate. Those will be identified as progressives. Progressives tend to be a bit more in the alignment with the independent or Bernie segment of whatever you get. I don't even call Bernie a segment of the party because he's an independent. Bernie shits on Democrats in a lot of ways. So it's just, I think that if you're asking that question, to answer that question, I think that's probably if you want to frame it as a progression, that's probably the natural quote unquote progression. That would be what the yin to the Republicans yang. You had the Republicans who after Obama, there was a segment that the Tea Party development, which actually ended up devolving into MAGA, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think, damn, what I just said, shit, you had me think. I think if Bernie was about 15 years younger, if he was a little younger, he could get some legs under him. But a lot of young people seem to resonate with him. I had a friend of mine who had mentioned him to me many years ago. And so Bernie now, he's up there in years now, but I believe if he were a little younger, you might see him and freaking, what's the name? What's the Spanish lady? Ortez?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Right, and I didn't mean to mess up.
No, it's all good, bro. AOC.
Listen, my mind is totally.
AOC, if you forget, just AOC.
AOC, you will probably see him and AOC on a ticket together. That would be interesting. But
They
I think
would
he's
lose.
just too old now. Yeah, well, I don't know, but I'm just being creative here.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying that they would lose badly.
She's too divisive. You think she's too divisive?
No, I just think you got two people who don't add it, who are generally of the same mind on the same ticket. So I mean, they don't add anything to a ticket. Like I'm saying, it's just to me it just doesn't work. And I think many people would say that didn't work. There would not be a good ticket.
What do they share? Is there any politics that they
their politics are damn near aligned. I'm just saying. I mean, she's considered to be him in a skirt, for lack of a better explanation.
Okay, so it made sense what I said. Okay.
No, it's exactly that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
No, but I don't obviously know. If we're talking about whether that's a winning ticket, that's definitely not a winning ticket.
Any other thoughts on that from anyone else? No.
Yeah, I would venture to say that's a losing ticket. They don't add anything. You don't capture any moderates that way. The ticket is way too far to the left, and I think people misunderstand it. And someone please jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. But the moderates don't necessarily have a problem with progressives, other than the fact that some of the stuff that's being proposed is not conceptualized thoroughly. Right, all of the things sound good. It's a populist message. Generally, so you get, free health care. You get, all the things. Yeah, free. I was. So you get
money because you make more money than me.
Without a consideration that you have to still pay for those things. Like they just aren't going to be free.
Right.
So they're just not conceptualized thoroughly. Like that's the real problem, and it's the emotion around it and the lack of scholarship that really kind of turns moderates off.
I see. Because I'm wondering, I'm thinking, what is going to be the movement that's really going to galvanize people, across all backgrounds, not just Black Americans, right? Not just what the hell is it gonna take for people to just realize some things and come together? I have no clue, man. I didn't look at it from different angles. I'm trying to listen to different voices, but nobody's getting traction. No one is getting traction.
Robert, did you say AOC and Bernie?
Yes, I wondered. I put that on the floor. I was pondering it. Yeah, I was just pondering.
Yeah, Quinn's 1,000% right. That's an absolute lot. Bernie's too old. But
yeah,
it wouldn't even.
So was Trump. So we're talking about extreme on both sides.
Yeah, the corporations would line up against them. They wouldn't go anywhere. AOC is a possible VP candidate for damn sure, but not with Bernie.
So who with?
But I'll tell you what will change the competition. If you want to know what's going to bring both sides together, because I've said many times, the Bernie Bros and the MAGAs are saying the same shit. It's going to be AI, and it's going to be as you have humanoid robotics, and we have a technological, what I think will probably be a technological recession worldwide, and it's especially attacking the working class, white collar working class, which is being assaulted right now. Intel is going to lay off 5,000 and maybe more. And as that continues, you're going to see both sides come together on the AI front. I think that's the absolute game changer in between 2027 and 2032.
I wish people would stop saying AI is the future. AI is right now. That future, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna more. Now we're moving into a super intelligence, but AI is here right now, and people are using it, and it's now. All that future stuff is crazy. It's now. It's happening right now in 2025.
But how does that correlate to? I'm curious. How does that correlate to the what you were saying, Trent, in terms of where people find collective, we'll find a. I don't understand. You have to.
Because you guys vote with your pocketbooks. No, you give. No, I mean, truly, when it comes down to all people give buck brothers money, and what is going to happen what is happening. It's not what is going to happen. Robert's 100% right. What is happening is you will see a congruence of minds in how to, as we have an economic calamity. I don't know how big it will be. Some people think it's 10 years off. I think I tend to,
2027 is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think we're within 18. We're actually seeing it right now. It's starting to happen right now.
But I'm just trying to figure out where you think people are going to find some sort of where they're going to find a commonality between AI. I understand.
That's the question. And before you,
I think we're going to have what I think will happen, which I'm completely against, is universal basic income will be talked about on both sides. And I just want you guys to know I'm actually completely against that. But I think that's going to be, and the changing of work-life balance, all these things are going to come into together. The social issues will become less and less, because to be honest, the Democrats win on the social issues with this upcoming generation. I think the social issues become less and less a problem, but the AI and technology will become more of a.
I think the economic upheaval will begin to surface in 2027. Two things are going to happen. Here's the convergence, right? The first convergence is going to be, first of all, let's realize SNAP and these other benefits. People say, oh, we want people to work. People are currently working and need SNAP, right? The problem is that the wages don't allow them to make ends meet, right? These large corporations are not paying at a competitive way for people to freaking live and do just the basic things, right? And so again, most people that are on welfare and SNAP, a large percentage of them are hardworking, law-abiding citizens in low-paying jobs, right? I would have loved that package to have a component to transition those type of workers into to be trained and so that they can transition into other industries and make more money. So that's that. But I think the economic impact of people and what's going to happen once this law takes effect, I think we're going to feel that in 2027. I think that's what it's going to hit. So I think the pending crisis will culminate in 2027. That's my thought so far at this time.
I just don't. I don't see that there's any. Forgive me, I don't see that there's any commonality. I don't see that happening anytime soon, if it ever happens. I don't even see that there being one unifying thing that pushes people together. The universal basic income thing is interesting. I don't think that you're going to get that past anybody, to be quite honest with you. I don't know how we square that circle.
So
fiscally conservative Republicans and.
Do you agree that the economy is going to go awry? Do you agree with that?
Well, let me give I'll give you a real world example. I won't be long, Lavender. I'm not like TC. I'm not an idiot. Actually, I'm in this for a living.
Wow.
When we began, when we began looking at AI for dealers in 2023, it was met with heavy skepticism. And this is.
What you say about Patty?
It's up AI because you use AI in the car dealership.
Yeah. So when we were,
I'm confused what puts you in AI when you have no AI certifications or anything like that, Trent.
Okay. So when we began looking at AI.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm not being funny. I'm asking you a question. What is your qualification in AI or IT? Besides being a car salesman, you're saying you're in the industry. What part of the industry are you in with tech or AI?
Do you really think I'm a car salesman?
You're a marketer, is what you say. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are from day to day, but I didn't know you were in AI or IT. So I'm asking you.
You was a car salesman. There ain't nothing shitty for being a car salesman.
I'm not a car salesman. That's why my profile is separate. Yeah. Huh? No, I'm in product innovation. You can go look at. My LinkedIn's public. You can go look up what I do and who I speak to. So when we were looking at this,
answer a fucking question. Okay, go.
What is your question, my man? I'll answer it real quick. I'm not AI certified. I'm not a
Okay, so why do you say you're in AI like you work in an industry, Trent? Going on ChatGPT doesn't make you fucking AI. So going on ChatGPT doesn't mean you're in tech.
Yeah.
Like it's
Okay,
dumb
so you
to say
can
that,
ask
bro.
No, so listen, you can ask the what I do is I look at the companies, right? And I look at the companies and what they do and how they will translate and make car dealerships better, right? And
Yeah,
will
not
they
AI or tech.
conform-
Okay, thank you.
it is AI. It is AI in tech. Will their systems conform with the systems that we have in place when we're talking about DMSs, CRMs, the communication structure, and then they need to
I researched the best doctor, so I'm gonna start calling myself a doctor.
Yeah, but then they need to conform to all the state laws, which is why I was talking about. I've talked to you guys about the state laws before, but let me give you this admission and say I'm stupid. That's fine. When we first brought this forward, I brought it forward because I'm supposed to look at products that are 2 to 4 years out from being fully adopted. AI in 2023 by a lot of people inside our industry was disputed, and we didn't. I'll be honest. It didn't complete sentences. It didn't always make sense. It would like there was a famous case where someone asked about a Silverado, and it recommended a Ford F-150 instead of the Silverado. So we weren't sure that this was going to be something that could be used. I'll fast forward. We launched, and you can look it up, Haitian, it's fine. We ended up launching, and this was part of my project I can talk about now. We launched Impel AI for communication for all dealers. And it's been extremely successful. And what is now happening, we are looking at other parts of the communication that have to do with video, that have to do with voice. And this is coming in. I'm talking to dealers. Dealerships, while you don't know, are often at the forefront of what businesses do. Dentist office, doctor's offices, healthcare, insurance companies often emulate what dealerships end up doing. And so because we're seeing this change in the automotive industry, I have no doubt it's spread. It's going to spread to. It is spreading to other industries.
So Trent, I'm gonna say one thing. So when you're done, I'm gonna say one last thing. Leave you alone, bro. Yeah, it's not even that someone trying to come at you, but you gotta stop bullshitting, bro. Just because your company is doing an AI software doesn't mean you guys are even fucking making it. I could get an AI software, anything right now. Hold on, Trent. Hold on. You can give me any category right now. I can get a software for you that's white labeled by going to making one phone call or one fucking website and buying it, bro. Doesn't mean I'm the one who developed it because I'm putting my name on it.
That's correct. We do not make the software.
No shit, but you don't represent yourself that way. When you talk in the room, you're talking like you're
not saying that.
Not that you're behind a credit card.
All due respect, there's a huge difference. No, I'm not trying to say that I'm a programmer. I am not a computer science engineer. But what I do understand is the communication level between the consumer, between the business, which in this case is the dealership, and the usage, and then the sometimes the biometric, but the there's a word I'm looking for that.
Hey, but Trent,
essentially the information that we can share about you, right? Your ID information, because it passes through multiple hands in third parties.
But wait, Trent, just so we're not going too long into that, because I mean, I don't think people are really following. How does that translate into this is what people's campaigns are going to be about? How does this translate
That's what I was getting at.
You're not nothing you said is telling me we're going to start campaigning on AI, that the election is going to be about AI. The election is going to be about what did you call universal basic income? Nothing you said. That was the point you were trying to prove.
Oh, gotcha.
You did not.
So I'll bring it back.
I don't know where you're going.
Haitian kind of derailed me on that. But what happens is what industries call replacement of compensation. This is actually like replacement of jobs, and because there is significant replacement of compensation. It may not be replacing people's jobs right now, but it lowers the need, typically, it lowers the need for you to hire additional personnel. And this is why we're starting to see an uptick in especially recent college grads. Their unemployment rate is starting to rise, incongruent to what we've seen in the past. And so I just in working with these things, I'm working with a video AI right now. The amount of the amount of people that are not needed that do graphics, that do video recording is going to be it is significant. It's not going to be, it is significant. And I don't see a system outside of, I will say this, outside of humanoid robots, which will end up taking over everything. Outside of that industry, I don't see another industry that's going to replace what AI is going to be.
Well, I don't see the correlation, honestly, between what can happen politically and how that aligns, or, this somehow drives commonality between people, because that's what the original question was. That's what Dupree introduced. That's what we were talking about. So we were just trying to figure out how there was going to be a correlation between the two, and it really doesn't seem as if there's going to be any correlation. That's my take. There'll be no correlation, and at least not in our near future, where that bridges a gap, or that that is some place where there's some commonality between the two. I think the closer and the closest that they're going to get with the commonality is with the anti-government, anti-establishment take that is conjoined by the Trump and the Bernie. The Bernie bros, where they align on that issue. I think that's the closest place where there's going to be any commonality, and that's very fringe. Like, that's a very thin margin. There's not very many people who, not even all of them, agree. But I think that's the closest.
The commonality is money and jobs. You're going to have more power in the hands of fewer people.
We have that now.
But yeah, I know. I mean, you think it's bad now. Google and Meta employ far less people than General Motors and Ford and Chrysler did, in the car boom between the 30s and the 70s.
I agree.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but all the people that used to be, that used to be a middle class living of making cars. And what I'm trying to say is
tech is going to drive is going to be the biggest employer, but not really, because there's not going to be any employee. Is that what you're saying? They're going to need UBI in some way?
What's not said here is that AI will also make jobs, okay? People, like you talked about with graphics experience, they could go get their shit together, make a company that sells graphics now to the company they used to work for, because they're better at it than just leaving it to AI. You have to have someone who knows how to use AI, right? Then they could hire some of the people they work with who were laid off. So there's more ways to skin a cat, as they say, than just relying on, AI is going to take all the jobs. There's jobs AI can't do, and even robots. Are they going to be, for simple tasks, yes. For things like nursing, doctors, dentists, teachers, right? I don't see parents wanting their kids in classrooms with a robot. How does that work? That's not a human touch at all. That's not a human understanding. That's a whole different thing you're talking about. That's like, I can see them being an assistant, an accessory, something of that kind, but they're not going to take over the entire job market. And I'll give you an example, Trent. The little company started by my friend with $250 2 years ago. 3 months ago, she had her first $50,000 month. This month is $150,000. This is how fast AI is moving. This is how fast she's keeping up with it. And it's only going to go up from here. She doesn't have any special skill set other than she's a genius, is what she is in the field for self-publishers. Nobody else knows this the way that she does. And she's an amazing person with it. And she has hired, 12 people? And she allows people to give classes on what they know about AI, and they get a percentage of the money from the class that they give. You have to get in pockets of people. I know you talk to the bigwigs, But you also have to get into pockets of people who are actually doing things with AI and making it happen, and keeping people working, and giving them an out from jobs they don't want to do anymore. There's lots of people who do not want their 9 to 5 anymore, and they're happy to switch over to AI, task with AI, and get it done. And that's all I can tell you. I know you were talking about the big five and the Ford and all these automobile companies and all these corporations. Yeah, sure. They're going to do what they can to save money. That's just what it is.
So it's not. So I do talk to smaller AI companies. A lot of these companies are pretty small. But to give you an idea of the scale that we're talking about, Quinn, and again, this is not Trent Cannon saying this. There are multiple high-tech CEOs that are talking about that, from Elon Musk to Mark Cuban to the other guy that just spoke at TED, that see the possible technological recession. Here's an easy one though. Nvidia just hit a $4 trillion market cap. That is large. It is larger than any other company in history. It is actually now larger than Google and Meta combined in market cap. Nvidia only employs 36,000 people. And so what you're going to see, again, is a concentration of wealth at the top. And I'm in complete agreement with you, April, is we're going to need to change our work hours from 40 hours a week, standard work hours, down to 32 to 30 hours a week. We're going to need to make some changes in order to have a full employment. And as this comes into the next election cycle between 28 and 2032, it's going to be a significant part of this.
The Black Men Speak Now room is opening, so we're going to transition over there.
On September, I need to go to other state, but
Can somebody post the link, please?
It's not a problem to come here back, right?
I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's because I'm scared, it's
Hey, I'm gonna mute you up.
in here.
Okay. Hey, if somebody can give me the link, please, so we can shut down this room. Let me see. Oh, child. I left the room.
Let me see if he messaged me in my inbox. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Luce, how would you describe your political leaning?
I'm a black supremacist.
You're a black supremacist? Where do you live? Cleveland?
In the dirty South USA.
Atlanta?
People call it the Frankie Winky.
Interesting. And what do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
Union trade, skilled construction.
It's amazing that you asked and answered that, because there are 11 states. There are 11 states. There are 11 states in the South that have no minimum wage. So I find it interesting that you represent unions, but yet are in the South where there is no minimum wage.
Okay, well, as I pointed out, a year or two ago, the raising of minimum wage and social safety nets is preceded by the eradication of the black taxpayer base in each of these states. So the northern states are also anti-black.